Well, this is what my hair looks like today. Sucks. Honestly, I've said this before that I just don't know what to do with my hair. I really don't. So, this is it. I woke up like this, sort of. I mean, I just kind of moved around a bit with just like shaking my head, and that, I guess, I ended up like this. Sucks. It's a bit gets in the way. I don't like my hair at all. My mother doesn't either, but I've gotten a few compliments from people before, but not so I'm not. I just decided not to cut it. Left it like this for a few years now. I mean, I did cut it maybe once or twice in those 2 years, just like shaving the sides off when it gets a bit hot. And summers here are just awful. Um, this place is literally a cold desert. You don't know what that means. It's just a place that doesn't get a lot of rain, so like a desert, but it's not hot. So it's not a hot desert. It's a cold desert, but that doesn't mean it's not hot. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Hopefully. So yeah, it's like I literally live in a valley. It's like if you know anything about California, you know that there's a valley right in the middle. Yeah, I live in there between, squished between two mountain ranges. Kind of sucks. Apparently, it makes pollution 10 times worse, or something like that. Just makes it bounce all over the place. And add that to the fact that heat gets trapped in here, so those greenhouse gases and summers are hellish. I don't know. It sucks. And on days, but at least on days without much pollution, you can actually see the mountains from just about anywhere, and they're really nice to look at. I will admit they have a really nice pattern, just like so. We have a peak, and then just slither down. Like there's like it looks like a trail almost in between them, and just repeat that and all around the place, and it just looks kind of mesmerizing. It's nice, but um, I don't exactly have a basis on what I'm going to talk about today. And the first video I did, uh, it was I was just pondering on the idea of what I'm doing, like sort of trying to explain um, myself, not really doing it well. Second video, which I've already uploaded it. Yeah, it's I talked about sexuality because that's really all I had in my mind at the time. Right now, I don't have a lot going on. But I keep seizing these moments every time I'm home alone. I just take the time, record this because I know I won't get the chance later. So, um, not much has happened since yesterday. So, um, I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. But don't worry. I'm sure this video is gonna be a lot longer. You can probably see. So I eventually do find something to talk about. Just give me a second to think. Oh, I know. I was thinking about this. Um, so what if you had a singular point? Um, this is going to be a bit sciencey, a bit complicated, but whatever. So you have a singular point in time, right? That point, uh, you can mean, for example, it leads you to getting into some sort of it leads you to meeting someone, and that changes your life, right? What if so? And if you were to not meet them, you wouldn't be where you are. So say you discover time travel, and in the future you decide to go back to when you discovered it, and you don't discover it, and make sure you don't discover it. So what would that do to the timeline? I'm thinking, does that mean that does that erase the entire future because therefore it can't happen? But however, you traveled from the future, so now you're in the past. Even though you're from the future, you're not there anymore, so you can't be erased. There's, I've seen that that you would be erased since you are from the future, but at that point, wouldn't you be two completely different people since you're trying to coexist in the exact same timeline? I don't know. I think you would be two different people. That to me that makes a lot of sense. So you essentially erase your invention of time travel. What now? Now you're living in a completely different time. So if you were to go, I mean, you're living in the past. So if you were to go forward to the future, you'd be able to see what a world without time travel would look like, just how it changed, right? But that puts the question: what happens to the future? To the future you erased? Like, 'cause I've always been thinking, if someone did discover time travel and they've already altered the past and all that, does that mean that does that mean that this future is altered? Yeah, like, all right, let me put it this way: time, it's just relative, right? Move from one point to another. Someone invented time travel, hypothetically, or eventually someone will invent time travel. They've gone to the past and changed a few things, right? Well, does that mean that the timeline we're living in is that changed timeline, right? So my question that I'm trying to ponder is, does that mean that, like, I'm struggling to find the words for it. Just see, this is what happens when you don't script anything out. You're just left with nothing. You just don't have anything. I mean, I could do script. I don't like doing scripts. It kind of makes me feel like I'm acting, which I'm not trying to. I'm trying to just lay out my thoughts the way I want them to be laid out. So I just don't like using scripts. It's plain and simple. So, but anyway, uh, the question I'm trying to ask is, well, not really trying to ask, but you know what I mean. So, if you, so, I kind of just want to cut this part out because I'm really struggling just to explain myself. I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't say it. I can't. I don't know what's wrong with me. I always had that problem where if I want to say something, I just can't get it out, and I usually stutter or I just stop talking involuntarily. Sometimes I do it voluntarily. I just like, okay, you know what? You're making things bad. Just stop. But this time, it just like I can't say it. I can't for some reason. I just try to say it. Nothing comes out. Nothing at all, and that just feels weird. Stuttering a lot, and I don't know I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not tired. I'm just a bit. I'm a bit sore from sleeping. Yeah, happens at this age, I guess, which is weird because I'm not even an adult yet. I haven't turned 18. Oh, you know what? I've got another idea. Um, I've been wondering, and that's about my own future. Not that many people care about it, but well. So I mentioned before that I want to change in the world, right? I want my life to not be completely meaningless. I want something to do. I want to affect something. I've thought about joining, like, just running for office, doing politics, all that sort of thing. Thinking maybe I could change the world. I could change at least the country. I could try make something good of it, but I can't yet. They always say you're not too young to make a difference, but I don't have the resources to do any of that. I don't have money. I don't have followers, anything like that, any sort of thing. So if I really wanted to advocate for something, because the thing is, anyone can advocate for anything. You can say stop, like vegans always do. You can stop killing animals, stop whatever, climate change, all that. That doesn't do anything. It'd be better off if people force a change. Now, I'm not trying to get the FBI all over my ass, but but I think it'd be a lot better if these activist groups became violent. Wouldn't that make a lot more sense? Sure, they always say peaceful protests work a lot more than violent ones. That's true if you're, constantly doing something that maybe defies the law or anything like that, as long as you're not hurting anyone. Think, for example, the civil rights movement. A lot of the stuff they were doing was illegal gatherings, uh, boycotting buses, all that sort of stuff, and because of that, the media was on their side because they weren't doing anything. They weren't doing anything wrong, but also and all the abuse they suffer from the government, the police, was recorded, and that made the police look like the bad guys. So got everyone on their side, and they eventually got their rights and all that. But for something like this, the corporations don't care. They're too big. They have too much money to care about a few millennials in their fucking pajamas drinking Starbucks, telling them to stop killing animals, stop polluting the earth, stuff like that. You can't you can't exactly protest against something like that. You can't fight them off. I think it'd be better off if they just decided to incite a revolution. I don't know, an armed protest. Go up to them and just knock down their walls and force them to force a change. It's a lot better because, again, you're actually doing something, advocating and all that. You're just making, you're just trying to make light of the situation, something everyone knows is wrong, and people who, and those who oppose know, and they're just ignoring, right? So why not just take it by force and do something to incite a change? Stop going around social media posting black squares. That's not going to help black people against police brutality. You want to do something like the riots from a few months ago. Guys, remember those? Probably. Maybe not, but at least those, not really. Those riots were sort of, they did something. They didn't do a lot because they weren't organized. And a lot of people were just using it to steal and loot, all that. Just take advantage of the situation. But that's whatever. It, it would have worked. It could have worked. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Sort of violent uprisings work a lot more, and they get the message across more than non-violent ones. The only way non-violent ones work is if you're going up against a threat that actively attacks you for, despite not doing anything wrong, i.e., the British government against Indians when Gandhi did his non-violent revolution and all that. That's the only time a non-violent protest could ever work. But when you're protesting against an enemy that is not harming you at all, well, why don't you harm them? Again, I'm not trying to incite a riot. I'm just saying that it would be a lot more beneficial to everyone. Anyway, um, what else? Maybe I was thinking about another idea. What if if I keep a notepad or something, just have it here on my desk and like look over things I might want to talk about, and then talk about them if I'm stumped at a time like this. Yeah, that could be that could be something. Also, if you haven't noticed, my voice is a bit sore, or at least it feels sore. I'm not sure if you can tell the difference, but it just doesn't feel right. I'm not sure why I haven't had anything for breakfast except for a cup of. No, actually, I didn't even have a cup. I didn't even have a cup of anything. I just haven't eaten. Well, I took a cracker. There were these crackers in our dining room. We just kind of just grabbed a cracker, and yeah, that's all I had. I do plan to cook something eventually, but I have just some beef in the freezer, and I've already put it out to like unfreeze and all that. So I'm just waiting for that to defrost, and then I'll cook it. I'm not really sure how. I mean, I do know how to cook. I just don't know what to do with it after. I don't just want to eat meat like that, just straight up. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll just I don't know. There's not much I have. I could add some spinach to it. I could add. I don't actually know. I can't cook. I mean, I can, but I don't know recipes. That's the thing. Um, what else? Um, don't have much left to talk about, but I guess I'll probably end this. I mean, I did leave my brother outside. Not outside. He's just out in the living room. Not sure what he's doing, but he's the one that doesn't do anything, so I'm sure he's fine. Hopefully. Oh, actually, I was thinking about something just now. So, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the first video. I think I might have, but just in case you couldn't understand me, because I know I'm not the loudest person ever. Um, I said I would. My band and I will probably play in our school's rally in February, I believe. We're probably we were thinking we're set on doing "Sweet Dreams Are Made of This," the Marilyn Manson cover, because that's the heavy metal version, and that one's really like in our range. So I haven't been practicing much. I know how to do it, I just can't do it without looking at the notes. But other than that, I can manage well. Anyway, so my idea for that was I could practice more, especially maybe on camera. Uh, just practice. Hopefully you'll be the hopefully you this thing will be able to pick up the sound. I don't think it will. Just giving a warning already. I don't think it will. It's gonna sound atrocious, and it's not because I'm bad at it. It's because my sound isn't very good. Again, I don't have a microphone. I don't even have a camera. I'm just using my default camera, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll just probably play that here someday. Probably next video. I think I will do it next video, and I might even record that later today, because I do plan to practice, because I need it. And I said I might, if we manage to do Sweet Dreams, we could do another song. I was thinking of Fade to Black by Metallica, or Nothing Else Matters, also by Metallica. I was even thinking on a Cannibal Corpse song, but given that, well, my sister's here, gotta go.